Okay, hey there. It's good to check in with you guys. I have been trying to tape this thing since I swear like 9 a.m. It's really almost my children's bedtime. So, yeah. What can I say? Sometimes these taping sessions go great, and other times it's take number 366, click, and all the makeup's faded off, and I'm exhausted, but darn it, I'm going to get all those facts in there. I'm not going to talk too fast, and I'm going to do it all in less than 5 minutes, so feel the love. Okay, actually I've been fighting this virus, and it makes me really itchy, and ugh, it's just horrible. It'll go away, but in the meantime, I kind of look like I've got ants crawling on me, so I'll review the tape, and I notice I'm poking myself and itching like, I don't know, orangutan. So I end up not wanting to use that footage, but this one has got to be it. So if we use this one and I'm a mess and whatever, it is what it is. Here we go. But it's important. It's an important one, darn it all. I want to talk to you guys. I want to check in with you about summertime. It's summer. It's here. And there are safety issues at hand that we must discuss. But one that you might not be thinking about, especially how it applies to older children and not just younger children. And it's the whole topic of stranger danger, 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 danger. Stranger danger. But I hate that term because not all strangers are danger. And that can be confusing to young children and misleading, I would say to the least. So what do you call it? Well, I love this video series I watched years ago for young children called Safe Side Super Chick. Safe Side Super Chick. If you can look for this video series online, I'm telling you, get it. I don't get any royalties off of it, but now I should. But it's from that guy, Bill Walsh, who does the America's Most Wanted, right? And so it's really informative. But what it is that's really neat is they have different terms for people in your life that you run into or talk to, or you don't talk to. And they have don't knows, which are strangers. They're people you don't know. And then there's kind of knows, which are people, again, that you kind of know. Kind of get the theme here? You kind of know them. In the context of life, you see them, but it's not something, or someone, I should say, that you hang out with a lot. And then the people you hang out with a lot, there's people that you really care about. You buy them birthday presents. If they were sick, you'd bring them some chicken noodle soup. Those are your core people that you know. Those are your safe adults. Those are safe people in your life that you care about. So there's the don't knows, kind of knows, and the people that you know really well. So discussing that with your children is important when they're younger so that you can have the conversation that, you don't go anywhere with somebody you don't know. And when you're with somebody that you kind of know, like a coach or, a parent of a child that's in your class but isn't somebody that's one of your safe adults, that maybe it's a store clerk that you've seen. This isn't somebody that you go anywhere with. You may see them at an event and we're nice to them, we're polite with them, but there's no reason for them to take you or go anywhere with you. They're not one of your safe adults. But when you're safe adults, you can go somewhere with and you can do things with. And then you talk about who those safe adults are and revisit that conversation with them, especially when you're headed out. Because for one, that safe adult may be different on this trip because you're going somewhere with a different friend this time or a different family member. And it's important for children to know who the safe adults are at this time. Maybe you're out with grandma on a trip and, grandma's one of the safe adults that you're out with. Or, maybe you're out with a particular family and you want your children to know that, yes, if you have to go to the bathroom, it's okay for Will's mom to take you. And so just checking in with them on the car ride, keeping it simple, not making a big deal out of it, asking questions. Once they've been introduced to this topic of don't knows, kind of knows, and they're safe adults, you can ask them, oh, so is that person driving by, is that a kind of know, don't know, or is that a safe adult? Or, oh, look, there's, the person that we see at the pet store, is that a kind of know, don't know? It's really just talking to them about the difference in a fun, playful way so that you can make it clear to them who they are to ask for help from and who they're not, or who's allowed to take them places and do things with them and who's not. And here is a little tip about that. Have a special word, a key word, one you can pull out of your tool belt that your kids know. I use a playful word with my children, that if there was a need for you to go somewhere with somebody because it was an emergency or because mom needed help or, I needed someone to help drive, especially with this virus. Some days I just don't feel good and I need somebody to pick the kids up. I'll give that adult a special word if I haven't prepped my kids ahead of time to say that word, and that word lets the kids know that that adult's okay to come in the house, or that adult's okay to drive you somewhere, and specifically, what it is with that activity with that adult you're allowed to do with that silly word. And it's a fun, playful way for the kids to understand the value of safety. Now, I want to check in with you when the children get older, that it's important that they understand who these adults are in their life that are their safe adults, who they are that don't knows, and who are their kind of knows. And it doesn't just apply to adults, but it can apply to your peer group. Because as your child gets older, right, they're going to shift away from having that connection with you as much and more towards their peers. And to save them some of the embarrassment or the humiliation or just the I don't even know, the danger that can come along with trusting somebody that they shouldn't. So, again, saying, hey, remember when you were younger, we talked about don't knows, people that you don't know, and, you don't get in the car with them or go anywhere. Well, what about somebody you kind of know? And talking about who the kind of knows are versus who their core safe friends are. That guy that sits in the back over there, if he offers to give you a ride as you're walking along and, he's in one of your classes, would that be a safe person to get in the car with? Versus, even somebody that, is a complete don't know because they're not in any of your classes, but they come up to you and go, hey, don't we go to that high school together? Or, or don't we have that, didn't I see you running out on the track? You don't know them. So obviously getting in the car or going with them wouldn't be the best idea. And maybe just knowing that somebody you kind of know isn't a good person to share personal information about, whether your parent's not home or, the keyword to your Facebook, whatever it is, those facts, And then finally, last one is somebody that, is your core circle, your core group. There's someone that you do know very well, your best friends. Talk about who those are in your child's life. And again, sometimes those can shift, and letting your child know, Sarah was a really good friend to you last year. And, you really knew her and you were really good friends with her. But, that's not someone you really see anymore. Sarah's got a new group of friends. And, it just seems like you and Maggie hang out together and seem to have a little more of a connection. So it's important that maybe, you do invite Maggie to this activity, or don't go to that one with Sarah just because she doesn't want Maggie to go. And, just kind of helping your friends feel out some of their peer dynamics by knowing who it is in their life that they really want to trust their secrets with. And, and maybe that person is an adult in their life, and letting them know, hey, if you can't talk to me, but you really feel like you need to talk to an adult, these are the core adults you should talk to. But, that your music teacher, someone you kind of know, and isn't necessarily somebody you're going to want to go to and talk to about your private issues, because as we know as adults, we don't want necessarily to give somebody the opportunity to take advantage of our child because they're trusting somebody they shouldn't, right? Okay, so I just want to make sure we checked in with that. And one other quick tip, quick, I promise I'll make it really quick, is that if you're out in public with your children, and they're really young, and the chances of them getting separated from you can happen, make sure that one of the main tips that you teach them is to know your name and to call you by name, and even your full name, so that when they get lost somewhere, there's not a bunch of children yelling out, mommy, 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 or daddy, daddy, daddy. Or, if there's a child saying mommy or daddy, it can be, there's a lot of moms and a lot of dads, but there's only one Marsha Brady, usually, in a crowd, right? So making sure that they call your name out and they know your name completely is important, especially if they were to get separated from you and they did need to go to a kind of know, which is, you point out who those are, the people, the name tags, security guard, that they know and can say your name completely. Okay, bye guys. Talk to you later and have a great summer.